So hello folks, welcome this afternoon live from the Hotel Africa community here in District number 17, Monserrate County. Well, over the weekend, we brought you a live broadcast from here where my colleague, Masami Konen, during the week followed the demolition exercise that was being carried out by the Ministry of Public Works. And this is just for the road corridors in the Hotel Africa community. So earlier on, the Ministry of Public Works announced that by October 18, they would have moved in and begin the process of demolishing structures within the Hotel Africa community, some of the folks who actually built on the government property. But that discussion is, but today, the Public Works Ministry is continuing the demolition exercise of folks who actually erected structures along the Hotel Africa Road community. So as you speak, the Ministry of Public Works machine is already ahead of us. So these are all places where the machine started from during the weekend on Saturday. And thanks to Masami Kone, who also brought you the live broadcast. So I'm here with my colleague Damowa Fofana, and jointly we're going to be bringing you coverage of this continuous demolition exercise here by the Ministry of Public Works. Thanks for watching, and we'll take you through very slowly as we move towards the point where the machine is already carrying out the work. So thanks for watching. But yes, this is a continuous process, and so we are every time bringing you a live coverage of this work. So folks here actually erected some of their shops. Like you see here, this used to be a major entertainment center here, where you have the folks here have actually been asked to relocate, and some of their belongings were actually removed, if not all of it were removed from this building. And so the Ministry of Public Works machine actually marked this place. But while we arrived here, we experienced a little bit of break because the Ministry of Public Works machine had a tire pawn shop, so they had to go and repair the machine tire before coming to continue with the work. So the machine is just ahead of us, and we will take our time to move there gradually so you can see for yourselves exactly what is happening here in the Hotel Africa community, specifically District number 17, Monserrate County. So later on during this broadcast, we will attempt to speak to the supervisor of this team, because I was wondering why I said that they are using such a machine where anytime you can experience a leakage from the tire, unlike the excavator that is well positioned to do such work. But yeah, however, this is ongoing. The work is still taking place. So this is it, and the Ministry of Public Works machine so as you may be aware that the government of Liberia have announced plans to begin developing the Hotel Africa property. So as part of efforts in developing the Hotel Africa property, this is a beginning point whereby you have to clear the way and make sure that some of the structures, or if not all of them, are removed to give easy access to the government as they move about in developing the Hotel Africa facility. For years, some of the residents here have stayed So we say thanks for joining us on this 20th day of October 2025 from District number 17, Mosurado County, where we are bringing you this live coverage of a major demolition exercise being carried out by the Ministry of Public Works. Earlier on, it all started from the St. Paul Bridge or St. Paul River Bridge community, and they extended to the Paul River Bridge, where the Ministry of Public Works demolished structures that were actually built in the right of way. And now this time is in the Hotel Africa community. Structures that were actually built on the Hotel Africa road are being demolished. And good for the folks here. They are very much cooperative, as we've been told by the supervisor from the Ministry of Public Works. The folks here are very cooperative. They will de-roof their properties even before the coming in of the machine. So that tells you to what extent Liberians are now embracing development in country. Years back, it was forbidden to carry out an exercise of such, because there will be folks who will resist. Some will want to appeal, and politicians will also buy into the idea of appealing to the authorities to delay or to place a halt to the entire process on the basis of political wills. Some were actually thinking about what would have happened were they to go for an election. But no, you were actually in the wrong. Do this for the people. Develop the country. Make the country accessible. Inform the people about what they should do and not. And then you will be loved by the people. If you were to ask each and every citizen of this country about their take when it comes to development across the country, I believe they will all agree and say, yes, we want development. So now that we have a government that is solely eager about the welfare, the well-being, and the development of the country, what can the citizens say rather than embracing the national government's effort to develop the country? So stick and stay with us. We are live here from the Hotel Africa community. Specifically, we are just on the main street, the Hotel Africa Road, where the Ministry of Public Works on Saturday started a major demolition exercise of structures that were built in the right of way, and they were actually informed of today's date. Properties were marked, and now that all the necessary arrangements were made, the Ministry of Public Works is now executing its responsibility. Damoa Fofana, Ayesiniva, jointly, we are bringing you this exercise. And I see that there is a lady who is now operating the machine. And so gradually we will move behind the machine and see the next location where this exercise very much interesting. To see Liberians, and as always, you have some of the folks or disadvantaged youths making use of the situation to fetch for Debrick's remaining steel rods, some pieces of wood, so we will attempt to speak with the supervisor here. The main road leading to the Hotel Africa so the machine is now on the banjo to St. Paul Bridge, new community road. So we're trying to position ourselves so as to observe safety. But yes, this is the banjo. New community road, and the road leads straight to the Hotel Africa Bridge, not the Hotel Africa, but the St. Paul River Bridge. The folks are so much interested in following the machines. It seems like Liberians don't want to be told, but rather be the ones to say, well, it was in October 2025 around the Hotel Africa community when I was present where it all started, when the government of Liberia began the process of redeveloping the land, the properties, all the facilities of the Hotel Africa. And I was there, and we saw it. And today, what you are seeing was given birth in 2025. So however you are watching, folks, say thanks for watching. So while this is ongoing, and while we were on our way here, we passed by the Ministry of Public Works team along the 72nd community, where there are also folks who are also making sure that all of the potholes across the country are being redo. So for the asphalt roads, the concrete roads, just wherever across, interestingly, the folks here are making use of the situation, putting together pieces of steel. There is always a way out for survivability, and this is being displayed here since the Ministry of Public Works started. So you see folks so like I was saying, the Ministry of Public Works simultaneously is carrying out the patching of roads, of potholes across the country. And we saw the team around the 72nd community, where they have already started marking and removing some of the debris in the potholes, paving the way for a very smooth road network across the country. So, as was being announced by the Ministry of Public Works, there is an outpour of developmental activities taking place across the country, ranging from road connectivity, infrastructure development, and this is why we at the national broadcaster will always be there to bring you a live coverage of the workings of the government. So your job is to keep following the national broadcaster as we give you play-by-play description of the workings of government. also a very, very notable and historic community, the Hotel Africa community is where we are specifically. And the folks here are very much cooperative. Just Friday of last week, we were in Cinco, and specifically on 6th Street and 4th Street, respectively, where the Ministry of Public Works created an access route from the 6th Street area to connect the Jalatan community. And the same was done from the 4th Street area, connecting the Jalatan community. And this is directly under the supervision of the Division of Zoning and Land Use Planning at the Ministry of Public Works. This is necessary. So the last time we spoke to the with the Minister of Public Works, Honorable Roland Lafayette Guinness, and his team, they told us that the government has seen the need to upgrade the facility and its surrounding land space of approximately 393 acres, beginning with the eviction of all squatters with makeshift homes and those with illegal permanent structures. And that was actually premised on the minister's assertion that the move is intended like I said, it was actually premised on the Minister of Public Works assertion that the move is intended to restore the pride of Hotel Africa as one of Liberia's 2 5-star hotels in the past, after the Ducal Palace in the 1960s. As you may be aware, that Hotel Africa a former luxurious resort and a five-star hotel in Africa was constructed. You get food. You guys are doing it. Also, let's see. There's a roti. So, sorry folks for the break in transmission. But like I was saying, the Hotel Africa, formerly luxurious resort and the five-star hotel in Africa, was constructed in 1979 to host the Organization of African Unity, the OAU Summit in Monrovia. And the complex featured a main hotel, separate villas for heads of state, a conference center, a casino, and a golf course. But during the Liberian Civil War, 1990 to 2003, the Hotel Africa was looted, damaged, and used by rebel forces for attacks. So, following the war, the site was repurposed by the United Nations for troops and later occupied by citizens, remaining in a state of disrepair despite various redevelopment plans. So let's try to give you a little bit of a scene of this community. So this is exactly the Hotel Africa, the new community, and this is a stretch of road that leads to the Hotel Africa, not the Hotel Africa, but the St. Paul River Bridge. So this is actually a detour to the main street there, and like you see, some of the properties that are marked and are in the right of way are already de-roofed, waiting for the machine to move in and begin clearing. Some of the structures that are marked. Like I told you previously, the folks here are not waiting for the machine to move in, but rather they are de-roofing their buildings so that they cannot be evicted 100%. Because obviously you know that with the coming of the machine, you are going to be losing out on your structures that were actually erected in the right of way. But to give you a space, or to give you chance to actually get some of the stuff out of this place before the coming of the machine, it's safe to take time to de-roof your building, because once the machine moves in, it's not about giving time to you again, but rather the machine will have no alternative, or the folks from the Ministry of Public Works will have no other alternative but to actually demolish the structures marked by the Ministry of Public Works. So yes, this is just to give you a scene of how this rule will look like when the machine shaft move in. Already looking at the present look of the rule, and then upon the completion of the exercise, this rule is going to be wider than the way it is currently. It's going to be wider than the previous or the current ones that are across the Hotel Africa community. So yes, this is a live coverage of the Ministry of Public Works demolition exercise for the road expansion of the Hotel Africa corridor, because the government recently announced plans to develop. The government recently announced plans to develop the Hotel Africa property. And so as part of the way to do so is to firstly begin with the issue of zoning to determine the rightful structures that are out of the right of way, and those ones that are in the right of way should be identified. And yes, that was actually done. And so after identifying those structures that were built in the right of way or erected in the right of way, and the folks being informed that they were in the right of way, and the next thing to do is to give them a little bit of time to relocate. And that was actually done. And now the expiration date given folks who actually, the expiration dates given folks who were actually caught in the right of way has expired, and now giving the Ministry of Public Works the go ahead to move in. So, however you are watching, this is the National Television Service of the Liberia Broadcasting System, bringing you a live coverage of a major demolition exercise taking place here in the Hotel Africa community. And where we are currently is the Banjo New Community Road. This road leads to the St. Paul River Bridge, where some part of last month the Ministry of Public Works began the process of clearing structures along that corridor, and that started from the St. Paul River Bridge and ended around the Paul River Bridge community. That was phase one. That was actually phase one, and it will continue as far as the Bowater side corridor, because mind you, the government have also said that there are plans to pave the road from the St. Paul River Bridge to the Bowater side point of entry. So quite a laudable venture on the part of national government being executed by the Ministry of Public Works. The ministry duly responsible for road works across the country. So we will go a little bit further to give you a pictorial look of this Banjo New Road, a new community. I recall that the first day of this exercise, and it was all about folks actually embracing. It was all about folks embracing the work of the Ministry of Public Works. So it tells you what extent Liberia, starting in Liberia, are eager for development across the country. This is a very old nation that is lacking behind in terms of development. Too many countries, sisterly countries in the region, are being referenced whenever Liberians are discussing development across the continent Africa. You see folks referencing Ghana. There are folks who will also reference Sierra Leone. Some will actually reference the Africa Coast. But yes, if you were to do a survey of how some of those countries were to investigate or do a research on how some of those countries got to the level at which they are, a little bit of demolition was done. Unlike a very virgin land or land space where authorities of said country decided to go and develop. But here in Ghana, that Liberians are quick to reference in terms of development, you cannot develop or discuss the development of Ghana without mentioning the issue of demolition. A lot of buildings, talking about huge infrastructure, duplexes were built so a whole lot of valuable properties were either knowingly or unknowingly built in the right of way, and those properties were actually brought down because you cannot have a personal property storing the development of an entire country. So this is why you won't see people agitating, because they are fully aware and cognizant of the fact that yes, this is so folks, like we started, this is intended to give you an understanding about the demolition exercise being carried out by the Ministry of Public Works. It all started Saturday, where my colleague Masiami Konen brought you a live coverage of the start of the clearing of major structures that were actually marked by the Ministry of Public Works in the Hotel Africa community, specifically along the Hotel Africa Road. So this portion is actually the Hotel Africa Road community where some of the structures were actually demolished, and then today the Public Works Ministry, they are focused along the Banjo or the Lower Virginia Road, and their road leads to the Simple Bridge community, but this is also a part of the Hotel Africa Road, but this is Lower Virginia. So at the moment, the folks here are taking a break, so we will bring this broadcast to a closure as soon as they can resume the demolition exercise. We'll be coming to you with another live video here from Hotel Africa, District number 17, Massachusetts County. I'm here along with my colleague, Damo Afufana, and jointly we are bringing you this broadcast. Thanks for watching. My name is Aisha Niba. We are taking a very short break to be back. So thank you, folks. Thanks for joining us. There was a little bit of adjustment in the sound here, and so thanks to my colleague Damo Afufana. And so you can just inform us in the comment section to see if we are better off now with the sound system. Yes, please do this very briefly in the comment section. Earlier on when we started, there were folks who actually commented in the comment section and said they weren't getting us, so we want to see if whether the sound quality is yeah, just okay. So yeah, okay, folks are saying that the quality of the sound is much better, But yes, we are in district number 17, Moscow County, precisely. Somewhere around the Sarah Barkley Elementary and Junior High School. This is in the Zaytown, Lower Virginia, Moscow County, where you have the Sarah Barkley Elementary, Junior and Senior High School. Just passed by the school here in Zaytown. That is Zaye, Zaytown, Lower Virginia, District 17. So we are moving a little further now to where the machine is stationed. At the moment, this exercise is a continuous process. Giving visibility to drivers, pedestrians, and making sure that people are informed of government-owned properties, and that when you go about constructing, bear in mind that there is a space called the major alleys, streets, and public facilities across the country. Because one day the government might just move in to develop some of those for years. So we are today in District 17. It's very interesting that kids, zillion kids, are following back to back the public works machine as they go about with this exercise. So wherever you are and however you're watching, folks residing at home and abroad, so interesting scene here in District 17, Moscow County. For the record, this district is being spearheaded by Bernard Blue Benson, who is the district lawmaker. So stay here in district number 17, Newark, Virginia. I've been told that this is the new community. This community is referred to as the new community here in the Hotel Africa area. District 17. That's where we are. So kids are being warned to stay off the demolition zone, and yet they won't listen as they continue to follow the public works machine from the Hotel Africa area. Now we are just a stone throw away from the St. Paul River Bridge. Recently, the government of Liberia announced plans to develop the Hotel Africa property. As part of the arrangement, properties were marked along the right of way. They were given time to relocate and to also use the time to de-root their structures along the way. So good for some of them. They were able to follow the instructions from the Ministry of Public Works. And we say kudos to the folks from the Ministry of Public Works. They are very professional in terms of handling the folks are very professional in handling the affairs of the communities, which is obviously paying off for them and that of the communities that folks are not agitating, but rather they are corresponding folks here are corresponding in adherence to the zoning division at the Ministry of Public Works. So they must by moving and marked structures that they deem were in the right of way. Since then, they've been having a very cordial relationship with the affected residents and the entire community. I've not seen a situation or a case whereby folks resisted or try resisting. The public works folks from carrying out their work. So for those who are just joining this broadcast, we'd love to say thanks for joining us. We are here in district number 17, Morado County. Where the Ministry of Public Works has embarked on clearing structures along the Hotel Africa corridors. So previously, or months back, we visited this particular location. So it all started from this point, the Simple River Bridge, where the first phase for the demolition exercise by the Ministry of Public Works for the road construction works from St. Paul River to the Water side point of entry started. So as you can see already here, bulk of the houses here were earmarked. Some were demolished. And now for the remaining ones, they have been touched because this route, the new community, or if you made a Lower Virginia community road in Rocha, Africa, is also being cleared. So previously, the excavator was used by the Ministry of Public Works to carry out this exercise, but I'm told that the excavator is being worked on. So this is the wheel loader that is carrying out this exercise. Unlike the excavator, the wheel loader rakes the tiles coming in contact with foreign objects, which could obviously flatten this tire. So unlike the excavator, which in my mind is 100% suitable for this job.
Thank you.
Liberians, as this exercise continues, Liberians continue to applaud the government of Liberia for a lot of developmental initiatives taking place across the country. Liberians, both at home and abroad, continue to praise government of this initiative. District number 17 in Mosura County, where we are covering an ongoing demolition exercise being carried out by the Ministry of Public Works. This is squarely in District 17. And this road leads to the Hotel Africa main route. So why this exercise is ongoing, it's also safe and prudent that we pass on this information coming from the Ministry of Health. And this release says the Ministry of Health informs the general public of an increase in seasonal flu cases nationwide, with Mosura County reporting the highest number. Common symptoms include fever, cough, runny nose, sneezing, sore throat, headache, body itches, and fatigue. So high risk groups include children and chronic illnesses such as asthma, diabetes, or heart disease. And there is also a preventive actions that can be carried out. One is seeking medical attention if you develop these flu-like symptoms and wear a mask when around others. Another one is that you stay home when sick to prevent transmission. Also wash hands regularly with soap and clean water. Cover your mouth and nose when coughing or sneezing. Just that is like those objects that we touch frequently, they should be disinfected. Avoid crowded and poorly ventilated areas. And what is the government response to this situation? One is the government, as we speak, has enhanced surveillance in health facilities and also public awareness campaigns in communities and through the media. There are also plans being worked out in collaboration with the Ministry of Education to strengthen health measures in schools. So the Ministry of Health assures the public that effective measures are being implemented and encourages everyone to adhere to these preventive actions to protect themselves, their families, and their communities. So yes, we totally want to bring you this all important information coming up from the Ministry of Health, speaking about a seasonal fruit alert in Liberia. Just recently, I've seen some of my colleagues, professional colleagues, family members. It seems like everyone just coming down with cold. So I was wondering what was actually going on. So thank God and thankfully the Ministry of Health is now informing the public of a seasonal flu alert in Liberia, which is typically involved with what we call cleansing, sewing, and what have you. So they say folks who stand high risk, or the group of people that are of high risk, and students, elderly persons, pregnant women, individuals with chronic illnesses such as asthma, diabetes, or health diseases. So that's the foot. But let's say here in district number 17, Masarautu County, where purposely we are bringing you a live coverage of a major demolition exercise taking place here in district number 17, Masarautu County. From where we are currently, this road somewhere around St. Paul River Bridge This road leads to the Hotel Africa main road. This is a good detour. So we are still here. Ministry of Public Works reloaded, gradually clearing structures from this angle. Yes, only part of this exercise. Very much interested in following the public works machine. From point A to point B. Since the start of this exercise, you see case the elderly ones all develop an interest in what is to be a major comeback of the Hotel Africa facility. Folks are always standing ready to benefit from the exercise steroids are being removed from the concrete. Right, folks. As usual, on the date of demolition, the Ministry of Public Works will, folks will retire at about 4 p.m. of each day. And so the time check at 2 minutes up to 4 o'clock. I want to surmise that this will be for today's exercise, but I can't 100% confirm this information because this is a different day. So before the climax of this, we get a word or two from the supervisor of this team. He will obviously tell us. I'm looking at the public works truck moving in to take away some of the remains from this exercise. So the Ministry of Public Works is not just bringing down structures, but also clearing the remains from the demolished structures to give a clear pathway to motorists, pedestrians, and community residents here in district number 17, Maserati County. So where we are currently is around the St. Paul River Bridge. We started from the Hotel Africa Road community, passed through the new community, and Lower Virginia, passed by the Zaytown community, so it seems like we are going back to another location. Going back to where we previously came from. This time It's like the machine is going for the left portion of this road. So the entire crowd will again follow. The crowd will again follow the Ministry of Public Works machine. They will follow the Public Works machine. Issue 17, Monserrata County, Ministry of Public Works, Zoning Division, bringing the structures that were actually embarked months ago and was deemed in the right of way. Now, residents here so the kids will always find a way out to create laughter at every given situation. This is one reason for which the back and forth with this demolition team from the Ministry of Public Works. There they go. We continue our journey towards the Hotel Africa Road. Go on the side. Go on the side. Oh, fuck you. Oh, fuck you. No, fuck you. We are gradually moving toward the Hotel Africa rural community. Gradually, folks, we are making our way around the Hotel Africa Main Street, where it all started this morning. This exercise, according to the Ministry of Public Works, is intended to create an expansion in the road corridors across the Hotel Africa area, which will subsequently be followed by the eviction of illegal occupants at the Hotel Africa facility. So Damo Afifana is here as well, and I'm Liba. Jointly, we are bringing you this coverage from District 17, Maserati County. So if you just joining us, folks, we say welcome. Thanks for joining us live here from District 17 in Maserati County, where the Ministry of Public Works earlier this morning embarked on a major demolition exercise for the expansion of the road corridors in District number 17, leading towards the Hotel Africa property. They all started on Saturday of last week, where my colleague Masiame Conant brought you a live coverage of the exercise. And today is just a continuation of what started on Saturday of we say thanks for joining us, and we also invite your opinion. We invite your opinion on this live broadcast big of the overwhelming good works being carried out by the Ministry of Public Works, and also initiating an effort to clear illegal occupants of government's property across the country. We can have a conversation around this. So see, Sam Pare is watching. Bobby Valentino is also watching from Tinker's Village. Roosevelt Kumar, see Slay Doyuka. So just leave your comment beneath the broadcast and tell us exactly where exactly you're watching from. What do you make of this all-important exercise across the country? Months back, we brought you a coverage of a major demolition exercise from the Simple Bridge corridor to the Po River, where we claim as phase one of the exercise. And now we have shifted toward the Hotel Africa area. You see Albert Flumbo is following from Libya. He says Charles and Dylan. He said, good work, thank to our president. I'm watching from Pennsylvania. Thanks for watching, Charles. You too can do the same by having a say on this exercise. Schools of onlooker claiming the height of the community to get a clearer view of this work. Sir Johnson said, big thanks goes to the Ministry of Public Works. I'm watching you from Columbia, Maryland, USA. Thanks for watching as well. See, Odesco Code says, good evening guys, I'm watching from Bombay County, Dublin, New City. Thanks for watching, Odesco Code. Thanks for watching as well. But just to have you informed about our SARS location, we are in the Z town, as in Z-A-Y-E, in Lower Virginia, around the Hotel Africa community in district number 17, Muscle County, where a major demolition exercise is being carried out, being effectuated by the Ministry of Public Works, the zoning division, and we are here to bring a live coverage of every activity along the way. So what is of interest is that residents or those affected by this exercise are cooperating fully with the Ministry of Public Works folks. No hindrance, no disturbances, very much cooperative, and all of this wouldn't have been possible without the professionalism from the folks there at the Ministry of Public Works. You see Thompson Suma Achi Potipa. Yes, let's get it again. Thompson Soma Achi Potipa is watching from Government Can, Bogonjila District 2, Sana County. See Daniel Hadma says, good morning, I'm watching from Minneapolis, Minnesota, USA. Thank God for JMB, he says. You too can do the same. Tierney Young says, good work. Mohammed Fufana says, great development. I'm watching from Kumasi City, Ghana. Thanks for watching. Star Kai. I'm Star Kai. I'm watching from Congo Town. Patrick Poka. I'm closely following from Fishtown City, River G County. Let's say thanks for watching. We're just opposite the Cyril Barkley Elementary and Junior High School. The Scorpion Kingdom with motto, show the light, the people will find a way out. It's where we are. It's a school established on it was established in that's May 1972, of course. It's a school that's been around now for some time. We're talking about 1972. Students are very much interested as they are actually using this time now to create some disturbances. I experienced that when I was in high school. Whenever we experienced a heavy downpour, the entire class, but then was almost impossible to control. Even the dark weather, where the teacher will not have access to clearly see on the chalkboard, or if you may the blackboard, students took chances of the opportunity then to create disturbances. I see Sir Johnson. He said, my dear brother, who do not want development, obviously. And see Child Glory Freeman. Child Glory Freeman. He said, following you guys live from Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, Africa capital city. That's according to you. Mobile Timber is watching from Accra, Ghana. Mobile Timber says, thank you for the coverage. Okay? Thanks to the Liberia Broadcasting System. Thompson Soma Achi Potipa is where is the demolition is ongoing, brother. Okay, so we are in district number 17, Monserrado County. Specifically, we are around the Lower Virginia. The Lower Virginia community is where we are. Or to be very precise, we are just within the Z-Town community. Since Z-E-Y-E, the Z-Town community is where we are. Chairman Chi says, at times, development comes with pain. Of course, it might be right. And Rodney Williams says we need development. And this justifies my initial statement that if you were to take your microphone across the country, talking to Liberians or folks residing in Liberia, they will all agree with you that they need development. And the way to develop a country where the people, knowingly or unknowingly, built on the right of way or encroached on government properties or facilities, is to begin the process of zoning, drawing a clear demarcation between the private space and the public space. And after that, you notify them of the scheduled date to evacuate or be removed. And that obviously was done in the case of folks here. So Harry J. Jala, he says, I'm watching you from Lofa County. Thank you for the hard work. Development comes with strong hands. And I do agree with you, Harry. You see, Lloyd Johnson said developmental asibo. And Henry Wama says, thank God for your president, and also thank you people who giving us the information. I am watching you from Israel community around Fender. Okay. So Laura is asking which community is this? This is in the Z-Town community. As in Z-A-Y, Z-Town community. In district number 17, Monserrado County is where we are. In Lower Virginia. That's the precise location. But for generality in the location, we are in the Lower Virginia community. We are in the Lower Virginia community. Moba Kezali says some Liberians don't hate development. Joshua Way says, how many homes are they demolishing? Well, I can speak to that now because the supervisor of this team at the finishing line will obviously be the one to speak to us. And if that information is in his possession, we will obviously ask him about that. But I think for the illegal inhabitants within the Hotel Africa vicinity, that exercise So welcome back, folks. Thanks for joining us. We apologize for the break in transmission here, but it's in continuation of the Ministry of Public Works demolition exercise, specifically District 17, the Lower Virginia rule is where we are. This rule connects the Simple Rubbish community to the Hotel Africa rule and machine since morning started demolishing structures along this corridor. And we are returning to where it all started from the Hotel Africa rule community. Also appreciating the Ministry of Works and the government of Liberia in totality for the work and the job well done. But yes, this is coming at a point in time where Liberians are on their heels, yearning for development across the country. A very busy Hotel Africa community. The wheel loader is clearing the dikes or the remains from the demolition exercise and placing it into the truck, which will obviously dispose of the debris from the exercise here. So that the public in general can have a clearer view of the corridors marked and demolished. So to do this, I'm here with a team mate Damawa Fofana, who is ably handling the camera and making sure that you get a clearer view of what is taking place here in District 17, especially around the Hotel Africa is where we are, and this is taking place at the Banjo, Virginia Junction, to be precise.
Like it or not? But
so a change in the operator of the reloader. He has retired and another operator has taken over. So it's a crack team here from the Ministry of Public Works. So just before our break, I told you about the arrival of the minister, the assistant minister for zoning and planning at the Ministry of Public Works. And ability so it's obvious that technicians are not a fan of, most often are not a fan of the microphone. So we may not speak with the minister. So see Ulo Sando is watching. Alex is watching. Jerry B. Gonkwe is also watching. Ben William is following. Commissioner Lopo is also watching as well. Paul Nimeni says, thank you, Mr. President. We are getting there by God's grace. So Liberians at home and abroad continue to applaud the government of Liberia through the Ministry of Public Works for making sure that Liberia can come up to speed with other countries in Africa and the world at large. So this demolition exercise is squarely meant to get rid of structures which the Ministry of Public Works deems were built in the right of way. And already the government have announced that the plans to have the Hotel Africa coming back to its pre-war status, or even advancing beyond its pre-war status. So to do that, the Ministry of Public Works initially met with those who have initially acknowledged the fact that they built or erected structures on the right of way and were actually in the know that there are plans by government to develop the Hotel Africa property. So this is why the Ministry of Public Works is clearing those structures along the main corridor leading to Hotel Africa before engaging
Àwọn pani stage ló kọ́ ọ́ ìmọ̀lẹ́ ló pa yọ̀wọ̀ ló pa àmì pàṣẹ. That's how warning I was
So, Root Africa community, Banjo, Virginia, major demolition exercise, squarely being enforced and executed by the Ministry of Public Works, the zoning division, zoning and planning division at the Ministry of Public Works is squarely responsible for this exercise. But while this is ongoing, folks here are applauding the government through the Ministry of Public Works. So you can now have a clearer view as in past time, whereby the entire road corridor was being overshadowed by some makeshift structures erected along the road corridor. So this is where we are. It all started during the early morning hours of Monday, October 2025. But initially, it started on the 18th of October, on Saturday, where we had our colleague MyLiberianPeople, who initiated the broadcast with the public work folks. And today is day 2 of the Hotel Africa rule, and all our adjacent rules. Today is day 2 of this exercise. So as soon as we can get words from the folks here about today's activities. So on the overall, and as per the assessment we've done independently, the folks here are very peaceful, law-abiding, willing to work with the Ministry of Public Works and making sure that this is done collectively so as to pave the way for development across the country. So as usual, we will remain informed that this exercise by the Ministry of Public Works to clear the remaining debris from where it all started will bring this entire exercise to a closure for the day. So we would like to speak to the supervisor of the team here. So as usual, we will always conclude our broadcast to hear from the supervisor in the field as to how it all started today. I know my colleague MyLiberianPeople had a whole But just bring the public up to speed about the opening of the corridors around the Hotel Africa area. Firstly, your name for those of our followers who are just watching.
Okay, so thank you very much. I'm Sylvester Nkodo from Ministry of Public Works Zoning. I'm the supervisor for this project, leading from St. Gates Junction, which is Ray Hill Field to Banjod and that of Hotel Africa Road.
Why is this demolition exercise necessary?
Okay, so the demolition exercise is important because it reduces the congestion of traffic in our counties, in our capital, in our cities. So as you can see, we are here today at Banjod and Hotel Africa Junction. So if you look left, you see the road there. Now, but tomorrow we'll be demolishing this place because the place is a roundabout. So we'll be demolishing this side on the left. So that when you come in for Banjod, when you look on the right, while you look into Hotel Africa, you'll be able to know because you know everybody get long sight, some people get short sight. So when you come into our junction, it need to be a broader area so that you'll be able to see. Some people car don't have good brake, and you know, so all the things you have to take into consideration so that what we make in the junction bigger or wider so that we'll be able for traffic to reduce. So as you can see, this is the road that facing the St. Gates Junction, and we are here. Our back is turned to St. Paul Bridge, the road from St. Paul Bridge. As you can see, we are here at the junction. Tomorrow we'll be demolishing that structure you're looking at to make the place accessible for cars, so that almost all the people or the motorbike that will park to go far from the road. Then on the left, as you can see, we are already demolished place. You can see we are going, instead of the 25 feet, we are going about 40 or 30 feet.
Instead of the front loader, I saw you today using the wheel. Instead of the excavator, that is, I saw you using the wheel loader. And I think that for some of the work you do, in my mind, it's preferable to use the excavator than the...
Okay, yeah, so you know, we have many projects. So I can only speak to what is given me. So I'm working along with the front end loader.
Unlike the St. Paul Bridge to Paul River, do you have a specific timeline for this exercise?
Okay, so by God's grace, in 2 days' time, we finish with the process. If not because of the shortage of fuel, today by tomorrow, we'll have finished with the process. But I think by the after tomorrow, we'll be completing with the process.
What do you say on the overall to residents? I have interviewed you over the time that for everywhere you go, you say the residents are cooperating.
Okay, so as you can see, you see up there, the people that say are doing their own demolition, self-demolition, as you can see. So people are cooperating, and trust me, people are cooperating, and trust me, we'll do our best. So we always encourage our people to cooperate with government. If they say the country is beautiful, it's not a scar, it is the structures along the way. So we can use makeshift along the way and want our city to be beautiful or to be fine in our elaborate way. So I want to encourage our Liberians who are in the habit of building in government right away, alleyway, waterway. We should desist. We should desist. And if you have the opportunity to purchase a land, the first thing you do, go to the Ministry of Public Works Zoning Division to ascertain to know if this place is down close to the road. If you went to the Township Commission and they want to give you place, ask them how many feet of this place that you are giving, because tomorrow, when government get ready, they will remove you from the places. Then later, you started complaining on government. So we ask our brothers, our sisters, our mothers, our fathers that we should take into consideration that our countries, our city, our street need to be beautified. So we should always observe the government right away and the waterway. We should not build in government road.
For just lesson learned, how many feet you think that people who are watching is supposed to take away from the government?
Okay, so the roads are varies. Yeah, the roads are varies. So they got the in road, they got the feeder road, they got the. So like for example, for this road, this is an 80 feet road. So from left, right, 80 feet. So we take 40 from the center to the left, 40 from the center to the right. So as you can see, this one is 40 feet, 20 on the left, 20 on the right. Same way with this road going to Banjo.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
Thank you very much. Well, folks, this is how we bring this broadcast to a closure. Like you heard from the supervisor, they are left with 2 more days to complete this entire exercise, and we're obviously going to be here to provide coverage of the exercise. My name is Ayesen Liba, and my colleague Damo Afupana has been back camera. We say thanks for watching, and do have yourself a pleasant pleasant evening from Banjo, specifically the Hotel Africa community. Thanks for watching.